music. I'll never forget when I first met him, and we sang together. And I said, Larry, did I sing alto, soprano, or tenor? He said, all three at the same time. Now, Judy remembers me as the youngest person to be asked to join the Golden Stairs Choir, the soprano section. I was 15 years old, you had to be 16 to join. You get me out of soprano, I was lost. But he said, but I'll teach you to sing. And I thought, honey, if anybody can, this man can. The other day, when he slipped out of my arms, he fell asleep. He had asked God two things. Let me go to sleep in my wife's arms. And the hospice nurse picked me up and put me in there. And he'd asked him, and I didn't know this, I want to kiss my wife goodbye. He opened his eyes 2 minutes before he passed away, and I felt something on my cheek. And then somebody said, he just opened his eyes and kissed you. And I felt a hand, and then his heart against my back stopped beating. And two nurses that attend our church said, he's gone. Everybody here says, you know, you've got about the most perfect marriage that we've ever seen. Just a wonderful marriage. So we had some problems in the past, and when we came to Jesus and decided to give him our will, we decided everything's under the blood of Jesus. But we decided to just keep hold of one little story, just so it wouldn't happen again. Young people, back then in the day, as they say, they didn't have cell phones. Call anybody you want, as much as you want, talk as long as you want. They didn't have them. Larry and I lived in Nashville in Kentucky, and we'd run up to Owensboro. We lived in Owensboro. We'd run across town to play cards with my brother and sister and brother-in-law. And so when our kids did something cute, I had to call my mama. And now you will not believe this, but I talked a long time. A long time. And we're not talking flat fee, $50. We're talking 3 minutes, $20. So I'm going to tell you about a story we like to call the flying rake. Larry would come home from time to time, and he'd say, did we get the phone bill? And I'd say, are you ready for dinner? But this one day in particular, I went out to the mail, and as I got the phone bill and I opened it up, now this was in the 70s, this is a big amount, it was $285. Larry had a pile of leaves out front of our house that we owned, and I looked up, and lo and behold, he's driving up the hill, fixing to turn in our drive. I just stuck that phone bill underneath those leaves and thought, I'll deal with that later. And I said to him, honey, dinner's ready. He said, well, I kind of want to rake these leaves. I've been working on them all week. And I said, but honey, it's a good dinner. You know you like my cooking. No, I'm going to rake the leaves. And I said, oh, Lord. I went inside the house. I peeked out the drapes. I saw him raking the leaves. I saw him pick up something white. I saw a rake fly across the air, fly over our car. And then the wildest looking man I ever saw in my life jumped in that car and took off. I said, oh God, he's leaving me. He's leaving me. Lord, don't let him leave me. About an hour later, he drove up. He came in. He took me in his arms. No, he didn't. The people I just looked around and noticed they know better, so I better keep this true. He looked at, oh, okay, Susan, watch that mouth. He looked at me and he said, what in the world? I said, oh God, I thought you were leaving me. I kissed him and hugged him. I said, I thought you were leaving me. I thought you were leaving me. He said, no, I'll have to keep from killing you. So that's the only story that we kept from our past. That's still under the blood of Jesus, but it was just so funny we couldn't let go of it.